Chair Paul Hughes. Vice Chair Gerard Sanchez.
Present.
Board Member Deb Moody.
Present.
Board Member Wesley Cook.
Present.
Board Member Patricia Keough. Board Member Jonathan Thayer.
Here. If everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for
So moved.
second?
Second.
All right. So moved. And then also we need the approval of the minutes for May 27th, 2026 Code Enforcement Board hearing. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. That passes. Are there
All
any,
those in favor?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Case is now in compliance. Eric, you mind informing us?
Good evening, Chairman Sanchez and ladies and gentlemen of the Code Board. We are going to start on page 3. Case 2026-46 is now in compliance. Case 2026-154 is in compliance. Moving over to page 4. Case 2026-195 is in compliance. Case 2026-204 is in compliance. And last but not least, case 2026-218 is in compliance.
Right. Any, next on the agenda would be any, disclosures of disclosures of visits of any of the properties that have been set
Usually
on
do
this,
that at each case,
on
right?
each case. Okay. All right. Let's have now the swearing of witnesses by the attorney. If all of those are going to be speaking, if you'd be kind enough to stand up and raise your right hand and face our wonderful attorney here.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, let's start off with the first case. I have here case number 2026-189, Susie E. Downing as trustee of Susie E. Downing Revocable Trust, 1416 Arabian Road East. Is anyone here?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, Ms. Downing is here tonight.
Okay,
And we'll let her speak in just a minute, but so since the last Code Board meeting, she's been in correspondence with me through email. She didn't erect the child barrier because she didn't want to spend the money for that. However, she is in the process of getting all the screening repaired. She got the estimates. She has a company. I'm going to let her explain more on that, but just want to let the board know that since the last meeting, she has been in constant communication.
okay.
So we do have the property owner here. So Ms. Downing, if you could please go to the dais.
Where do I start?
Well, how about your name and the address, your
My
address?
name is Susan Downing, and I live at 1416 Arabian Road East in Lake Rock Shores.
Okay. And you want to tell us a little bit about, the pool in your backyard and why you didn't erect a safety net or what is?
No, I
Normally-
haven't done that because I don't have the money to do the repairs. I get my money next Wednesday, and I have 2 people scheduled to come and repair the screening.
Okay,
The gentleman from Budget Fence, Tom Baker, he gave me, well, he has a friend that does screening, and the man was in contact with me and it's scheduled for next Wednesday. And he'll work with me on the price.
okay. And did he tell you by any chance when he'd have everything completed by or?
I assumed next Wednesday.
Okay,
He's going to give you a price and do the work on Wednesday?
No, he's already given me a price.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he was gonna work with you on the price.
Well, I mean, he's worked with me on the price. We've come
Okay.
to something that I can reasonably afford.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he just fixing, is there one panel that,
No, it needs,
go ahead.
the bottom panels are all there, but between the bottom panel and the top of the roof, I need, I think, 4 of them.
Okay,
So you just need to replace the screen.
Yes,
In your existing screen enclosure,
Yes.
and that would bring you into compliance.
Correct. Yeah, under the code section, because she doesn't have, there's fences on each side or their separation. She just doesn't have anything blocking, the north-south portion. However, the code says that if you have a fully encased pool with screening, that's sufficient.
Okay.
Okay. So this is solely a budgetary issue on your behalf, and I'm
I'm
gathering.
ashamed to admit it, but
No,
yes.
my mom, you gotta wait for that check. That's the second Wednesday of every
Yeah,
month,
but I
right?
never thought at this point in my life I'd be
Understood.
having a hard time.
All right.
So you feel as though you'll be able to report to Eric by maybe next Thursday that the work
I
has
was
been
gonna call him
completed?
and have them come inspect it.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
So how long has this been open? You know, after, ma'am, you know how long?
Notice of violation was issued on April 29, 2026, and it was heard before the May 27th code board meeting.
So this will be open, quote, to the public for the next week or so. So,
Based on her testimony, yes.
Anybody have a motion?
oh, we gotta talk about fine.
Well,
Is there anyone, do you know anyone that can come just put something temporary up beside your house?
No, because I don't want to spend the money for a temporary thing. That'll take away from what I can spend for the permanent fix.
Right.
well, I can make a motion. And see where it goes.
Okay.
Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-189, I move that this board finds the respondent in violation of section 125-475 and 3420 of the Town Code of Ordinances. Respondent shall comply with the town's Code of Ordinance on or before, let's see,
July 29th or soon.
well, our next meeting is the 29th, but I'd like to have compliance before then.
There is already an order in place, and it sounds like what you want to do is give her a little more time. Probably what you would want to do is extend the date for compliance.
Well, I think,
Because it provided, the original order provided that there would be a temporary fix, if you will, by June 5th.
right,
That hasn't happened. But you could, I guess, amend the order, or you could provide that the screening shall be, compliance shall be achieved by installing the screening, and give her until June, what would that be, 24th, 25th?
25th is next Thursday.
Yeah. Because the original order called for something temporary by June 5th and permanent by August 26th.
Right. And to continue it would give her until August 26th to have compliance by having the permanent repair, but we don't want to leave it exposed until then.
Right. I mean, in essence, if she does the screening, though, it becomes permanent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is there any liability on the town's part by the code board allowing that to be open?
I don't think so.
We've been fairly strict on that.
Yeah, well, it is good to be strict on it,
Okay.
but I don't know that there's liability to the town. I mean, certainly to the property owner, there would
Right.
be.
Do you feel like we can extend until next Friday? It would give us complete compliance as opposed to the temporary.
Hmm. Well,
Or someone who is having the financial struggle. I hate to start imposing a fine if it's not necessary.
right. But by the same token, I just soon not have it open.
I agree.
You know, we don't want to start a precedent saying, okay, you can leave it open for another month. And then something will come up on the same thing. Let's do this. I know somebody that has some spare fencing, temporary fencing,
Okay.
that might be able to come down to your house tomorrow and put it up until such time as the permanent fence gets there around the pool.
Yeah, if that was done, that would help, get rid of 34-20, which is the public nuisance part of it. That would just leave the violation of the pool, screening. So then you take away the health and safety factor. It's temporary, but based on her request, if that can be done, then yeah, that eliminates the public nuisance part. Correct, Bill?
Yes.
Yes.
Could the open panels be covered with like plastic or something like Visqueen or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
Just not have them closed where
yep.
someone would have to put effort in to break in.
Correct.
To get in through there.
yes, because that would be, you can have a temporary, and because she's in the process of getting it permanently fixed, that would help alleviate so, 'cause the public nuisance part is the whole health and safety. If we can temporarily eliminate that, give her the time requested to repair it, then you can close out both code sections. But you want to get the health and safety part, under control first.
Um,
I can get that fit. I can do that tomorrow. I can have that done. Have it covered up with plastic.
for us,
I know. I don't know how this works with that.
Well, I think it would be, we gotta agree on, I was writing discussion, so we've gotta come up with a motion, set a date and expectations and and what you guys would like to do. It sounds like you may be extending and obviously if you guys are gonna be offering to help out, that's wonderful. Obviously, the reason why this board is taking this very seriously, because it could be it is a dangerous type of thing. So I'm sure
I understand, it's just finances.
I got it, Mrs. Downing. We understand that loud and clear. So, do we want to amend, I guess would be number 5 and maybe add which
I'll make a motion. Based on testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-189, I move the respondents be found to have failed to comply with the order finding violation dated April 29th.
May
2020
27th.
May 27th, 2026. Given the evidence presented, I move that the date for compliance be extended to June. Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, till June 30th.
will that be enough time for you, Mrs. Downing?
I sure hope so.
Well, let's make it better than that. No problem doing that. July 15th. It's about a month, okay? So July 15th, 2026, and a fine assessment hearing, if necessary, will be held on July 29th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Second.
Okay. Okay,
All
those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Passes. Right, Mrs. Downing?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Downing.
Just call me tomorrow at 9:30ish, sometime in the morning. And I'll get some plastic put up over that to hold you temporarily. I can do it easy. Okay.
Eric, next case, number 9.
Yes, and I do have updated photos for you. That way you guys can see how 7-Eleven Hayden Road's doing.
Correct.
So just bear with me for just a moment.
Oh. Case status update, cases 2025-789, 2025-790, 2025-791, 2025-792, 2025-793, 2025-794, 2025-795, and 2025-796. This is 711 Hayden Road, Barbie Trust at 711 Hayden Road, Lake Clark Shores, Florida.
So I know that they have completed the demo permit. I know that the roof has not received the final yet, but so there's a bunch of other photos. So just excuse it goes piece by piece so you can get a better look. But remember how it originally looked? They definitely fixed the facade, the windows, the door. So they're definitely making progress with where they need. Again, the big pile of rubble that was on the right where the palm tree is, that has not been accumulating, so they're doing what they're supposed to. I believe that there's still some stuff open from the building side that needs to be completed. Yeah, here are your updated status photos.
We were gonna have a representative here
And,
tonight.
and we do. Yep. But before that, I just wanted you guys to see the photo so you can get a visual, because you remember what it looked like before, and you can see the progress that is, now been done as of today's date.
Okay.
So, sir. you wanna-
Did the subs get in to get their permits? Isn't that what was mentioned at our last meeting? The subcontractors? Okay. The permits have been issued? Okay.
Here, sir.
Come on up.
You have to go to the.
State your name and everything.
Hello, board. I'm Eric Mills. I'm a Virtual Design Group, a VDG Engineering. We're the project managers and the architects and engineers on the project, and I've been giving you the updates. So, as Eric had said, they've painted the outside. They pulled the roof permit. They had the roof in progress and tin tag inspection. So they're calling the final in on Friday. They're rolling out the paper tomorrow. So the roof will be completed by the end of the week. All of the windows and doors have been repaired. All of the painting has been done. All of the debris has been removed. Basically where we're at is I spoke to the contractor who's going to be doing all of the work on the inside. And he basically said that between inspections and installation and labor, he's probably looking at 60 more days to close everything out.
Just one question on my side. So would you give me permission to go on the property? Because I was able to take photos showing that the windows and doors here are secured. But because under 34-20, under the public nuisance, you were cited because the windows and doors were unsecured. Do I have permission, or can you talk to the owners to see if I can get permission to just do a walk around the property, make sure all the windows and all doors are? Because
Sure.
that would help close out that part, which is a big.
If I could get a card from you,
Yes.
and I can call you tomorrow morning. We're gonna meet with the owners to see when the contractors will be there and let everybody know that they're gonna be.
Yeah, because like I said, I didn't want to step on the property, so I was only able to take photos from
Yes,
the
you'll
roadway.
see all the windows and doors are all fixed and installed and secured.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mills, you said 16 days or 60?
He said 60. I would honestly request 90 based on how construction goes. But he said that he'll be done in 60 days.
Okay. Any motion? Or any other questions too?
Well, we haven't, part of his violation, he supposed to come in compliance by the June 24th. Do we want to extend that? See it in the second paragraph?
Yeah.
I think we would only be asking for the extension on closing out the interior permitted work. I believe that by Friday, he'll actually be in compliance with the majority of all the original violations, the roof, the paint on the outside, the debris, the windows, the doors, the unsecured entries, all those items have been addressed.
Yeah, if you look on the notes here, you can see 3419 sub 3 rotten and broken fascia board. Now again, if they give me permission to walk around the whole property and if I see everything look like that, then yes, that one could come into compliance under code. The discoloration, once again, with a walk around of the property, that one could be closed. And the public nuisance side, 3420, that could be removed. And then same with 26-21 to make sure there's no tree stumps remaining. So what he's saying is correct. I don't know if you'll be able to get the ungrassed areas taken care of because you guys are still working and you got to get the driveway taken care of, but
Last, unfortunately.
yes, which I understand. So I think with permission to walk around the property, especially if I go tomorrow, we actually can get some of these potentially in compliance.
Before the June 24th deadline.
Correct.
Okay, so the remainder will be the driveway, the sod and irrigate, or whatever landscape material you're gonna put in, and the interior finishes.
The interior finishes, correct.
Which the interior finishes should not impact the residents in the neighborhood like the entire project has until now.
Oh, right. No, they
So-
won't see what's going on inside.
Right.
Well, it's not gonna be a disturbance.
And actually, the surrounding residents are very happy.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the interior is not part of the code violation, right?
Correct.
No.
But while they
So
continue
everything's
on the
exterior.
inside,
Yeah.
it won't be disturbing the neighbors.
Right. It's just the only violations you won't be able to correct until we finish the inside is the landscape, the grass and the driveway.
Is the construction on the inside going to impact the landscape in the driveway?
No, but when they're bringing materials up, it will impact the landscape in the driveway. They have to have access to drive the trucks right up to the door.
I think with a status update for me next month and how many of these get checked off, that'll give the board members a better understanding of where they're at. And then based on that new information, you guys could make an updated decision. Especially if they're gonna give me permission tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll call you between 10 and 11.
Okay.
So we need a motion to continue this, or it's just going to continue?
This is-
Okay,
Yeah, next month. Okay,
Yeah, the next board.
yep,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
do-
So continue to next month. We come back next month with another update.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
hopefully to tell us that you're just about done.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All right, sir. Thank you. Just give me a call tomorrow.
Do a
please.
motion.
Thank you. Absolutely. Call me on my work cell phone now.
Do we need
Thank
I'll
you.
just
a
make
motion? Because you have things till June 24th here.
Well, if you want to extend that date, you would need a motion. If you just want to let it sit, you don't need to do anything
We
and,
can let it sit Until,
they would potentially be liable for a fine starting June 25th
Okay.
for the couple items, no, it looks like there's going to be 4 or so in compliance.
Do you want me to count them real quick?
Well, it doesn't matter, but I mean,
Okay,
everything
yes.
but the driveway and grass and landscaping.
Correct.
Sounds like it's done.
Correct.
So there's motivation for completion.
There is, yes.
yeah.
All right, Mr. Mills, what do you guys? So we'll just
That's it.
see you next month.
Take care, sir.
Thank you for coming in, sir.
Chairman Sanchez,
Yes.
point of order. Can we take the cases out of order because the remaining people in the audience, minus the property owners, are here to speak on behalf of one of the cases. So with your permission, can we go to the last open case, which is 2026-214? And then once we're completed, return to the regular order?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you guys, board fine with that?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Let's
Okay.
go ahead and do that.
All right. Good evening. I am Code Enforcement Officer Eric Richwagon, representing the town of Lake Clark Shores. This is case number 2026-214. Site property owners identified as Ann P. Biggs. Site property address is 7504 Nemick Drive North, Lake Clark Shores, Florida, 33406. On May 19, 2026, a notice of violation was issued for Section 125-767, Sub B, commercial vehicles are not permitted to be stored on or outside a residential property. So to bring to the board's attention, this was issued on May 19th. However, residents had been calling this in since May 11th. So I made contact with the property owner on around May 11th to May 12th, explained to them that the U-Haul being a commercial vehicle, because residents were telling me it had been stored there for multiple weeks. I can't fully attest to that. I can only attest to what I bring before you. Spoke to the resident. They said it'd be gone within 48 hours. That did not happen. The U-Haul then went from being there during the daytime to it being moved back and forth. I spoke to the evening, or I should say the afternoon shift officers. They confirmed that they saw the U-Haul return. And I also spoke to the night shift supervisor, and he confirms that this past Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, it has returned. So I believe this needs to stay in violation because, well, it is there today, but even if it gets moved temporarily, this needs to be fully moved and gone because this is showing a continuous pattern of return. To go a little further in this, which I'm only going to speak on it briefly because this is going to be brought up next month, but residents on the block have also advised me that they have seen work being done on this property, and this U-Haul allegedly is being used to dump materials. I have not seen materials being loaded in or dumped, but this is what has been brought to my attention. This U-Haul has been here for almost 2 months now, which is very unusual. So based on that, we do have some residents who want to give their testimony. So if the board has any questions for me, you can ask, and then they would like to speak.
Okay.
Eric, are there any current existing permits on the property?
There are none. And let me also state that from the initial communication that I had with these owners, they have been verbally aggressive, hostile. They don't want to admit that there's any violations, anything wrong. Every conversation I've had has not been positive. They have contacted the building department. They've been rude, aggressive, and verbally testing. So as of today, and they're supposed to be here tonight. Obviously, they are not. I have seen they've also been cited for multiple other things, but that's going next month. We've had no compliance with that. The only thing we did have compliance for was the pool being cleaned, which was also on this month's agenda.
Have they been cited for the lack of a lawn?
They have been cited for having no sod in the front or rear. They were cited for the pool being in terrible condition. They were cited for doing work without a permit on the chimney on the outside. They've been cited for doing work on the inside of the permit, sorry, on the inside of the property. So next month this will be going, and we also have residents that want to give testimony about the work being done.
What, I think for tonight, you need to limit discussion to the truck.
Correct.
Okay.
Come on up.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's get that on the record. So if you'd be kind, let's one at a time and state your name and property address and what you'd like to say.
I'm Mary Ann Bogart. I'm the 750408, the one next door. The truck has not moved. I didn't know it was moving at all because it's there when I get up at 6 o'clock and it's there when I go to bed at 10 o'clock. So I don't know that it ever moved, but it's been there for more than 2 months. And as Eric said, there's no, I know we're only supposed to speak, but apparently from what I'm reading, this is going to take months. And my other concern is the chimney and the fact that there's no garage door. In case of a hurricane, the neighbors are going to be at risk. I don't, and there's a pile of rocks. I don't know how.
We're gonna address that next month. So next month, when you come to provide testimony on it, because you've been directly impacted, so let's save that for next month. But just give your testimony about the U-Haul, please. So 2 months you've seen it.
Yeah, at least 2 months, yes.
Okay.
I should have put the date, but no.
No, it's fine. Based on when I cited them to today, it's clearly been there for just about a month from me citing. So we have that time frame. So if you have anything more to add, or if you want to let the next resident go up.
I think you've said everything and you've limited to conversation. There's really nothing else to say.
Yeah. But for everyone who wants to put it on record.
Hi, I'm Linda Blash, 7677 Nemick Drive South. I've had direct conversations with both the owner and the other person living in the property. I've had conversations with them with the U-Haul open, where he has explained to me what he's doing. And on one specific occasion, the U-Haul was full of the old insulation
Okay.
from the attic, where he explained that he had pulled all of that out. So he was clearly using the U-Haul to store what he was taking out of the home. And yes, I would agree that it's been there at least as long as is on record. Because I had those conversations with them before they were cited. Sometimes it was in the driveway, other times it was on the street, mostly on the street, and maybe about 18 inches into the property. And that's sort of when we really decided that we wanted to say something, because they dug a trench between the street, or about 18 inches into the property. And he explained that he was reinforcing that, putting gravel in, because the trucks were starting to kind of sink a little bit onto the property. We're all talking about a U-Haul, but we've had other trucks, which would not be relevant, but that kind of helps explain why he was concerned about it. It was not because it had been sitting there for a couple of weeks. It was because they were repeatedly using that space to park vehicles, commercial vehicles.
And they're using the commercial vehicle specifically for the remodel, whatever they're doing in their home?
That's the appearance. We've not seen them moving things in or out, just sitting there. And I believe right after it was brought to their attention, right after, I don't know if it was officially cited or at least brought to their attention, my impression was they believed that if they move it and then they come back, that would restart the clock. And that's been our concern, because right now it's a U-Haul that's been there for a couple of months. If they move it and then 2 days later they bring in another one, or they bring in some other vehicle, does that start the clock again for them, or are they still in violation? That's my question.
Well, it has to be permanently removed for more than a day. And what would happen then is, if they bring it back on day 2 or 3, they get cited as a repeat violator, which could be a fine up to $500. But the fines can start from the day that I issue that new notice of violation. So if I were to issue it hypothetically on the 1st of the month, and code board was until the 27th, we'll say, and I present it to the board can hear it, and they could technically start the fine from the 1st to the 27th for a repeat violation. So there is a next step. If they remove it and come in compliance, and if they do it again, because the way the repeat violation works is it has to be the same property owner within 5 years.
And do we need to give you like timestamped photos or something?
You can let me know. I mean, I ride by every single day. I really focused on this property because seven residents from the estates constantly want updates. So I drive by every single day. I see if there's anything going on, and if the officers see anything, they notify me as well. So, but if you happen to see something, yes, you can call me. If you want to provide anything, yes, you may.
Okay.
I'm just curious, but something like that, isn't that something that the police department could actually request to be towed?
No, it's on private property.
So there's no touch, okay.
If they move it to the street, then
No, unfortunately, it's fair. I mean, if it was obstructing multiple lanes, which it wasn't, it was originally parked on the street in front of the house, but it was facing the right way of travel. Yeah,
And you visited that property how many times, Eric?
4 times.
And no non-compliance it's just been basically deaf ears.
Oh, it hasn't been deaf ears. It's been again, lots of verbal, arguments. Last time I spoke to them, I had to tell them, we're not in court. This is not a legal debate. Please come before the code board, present your case. And that's where we'll go. They're very so second time I went there, I had to call the police to come out just to be there just in case, because the owner, she can be certain ways, but there's a male that's there that gets a little bit fidgety, gets a little too close. So no, but they haven't come into compliance with anything. They don't appear to want to come into compliance as of right now.
I'm
So-
just curious, being that it's being used for debris, it sounds like
Yes.
it sounds like property that's being kind of demolished inside possibly or whatever. Could there not be an order for a building inspector to?
Again, this will have to be for next month.
Okay.
Like Bill said, the only thing that I'll say is that the building inspector did go out there, and we have to talk about it next month. Because like I said, that case, those cases really need to be heard for next month. We need to really focus on the U-Haul, but
Well, I'm just, because they're obviously putting the debris.
correct.
I'm
So-
assuming, I don't know about hiding debris, you have to, usually if you're demolishing a house, you kind of get those trucks for waste management or whatever, and people fill in because whatever the
So-
material.
the dump.
So the resident at the end of the street explained to me that before they had the U-Haul truck, they had what was essentially a pickup truck with like a back bed that could angle up and down, and that they were initially loading and offloading debris in there. But again, this is what the resident said. I did not see this, so I can only, state what the resident told me. But they said they then must have moved to the U-Haul because it's much bigger. This is speculation though.
Okay.
But based on this, I believe that fine imposition should begin.
And then you're saying this has been going on for how long that you've personally witnessed, would you say?
Specifically with the truck,
Yeah.
at least 2 months.
2 months.
With other trucks, with other issues, at least 6 months.
Okay, so all of you've been dealing with this for the past 5 to 6
Right.
months.
We sent a letter in December with some of our concerns, but we don't have a fines committee, so it was ignored pretty much the same way.
Okay.
So you're saying that this began probably in December with the vehicle?
With vehicles.
Okay.
Like I said, next month's testimony the same residents are going to come, they're going to provide testimony, and I'll provide my testimony to you guys.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for speaking, and we'll see you next month, hopefully, right?
Okay.
Actually, that can be arranged, correct, Emily? Online?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay,
There'll be others.
all right. Any other residents that would like to come up and speak up? You stood up, raise your right hand, might as well make the most of it.
No, listen, right now, we're only discussing the U-Haul truck, so anything in reference to next month, please come next month, because your testimony will help. Yeah, it's in compliance. Yeah, Bill, so the pool is in compliance, but because they're the ones who initially contacted me with a complaint, they're asking if they could speak about it.
Well, it's really not an issue if it's in
Yeah.
compliance.
Yeah, so yeah, because it's in compliance. Yeah, I mean, because you guys, Yeah, because you guys contacted me, they came in compliance, and because they didn't come to fight it, so, yeah, so if you want to come next month, your presence would be welcome.
But I don't think so. That's just suggested.
Are we limited?
Yes.
What's,
You're still gonna have to
Guideline-
give them a day or something.
right, and that was my next question, to
Yes.
Emily, by the time we get orders out and delivered, you're closed Friday, right? So it'd be Monday?
Yes, we're closed on Friday.
Yeah. Like I said, next
I could be here tomorrow.
I don't know if I'll have time to do all the orders tomorrow,
Could you do-
because I have other things to do too.
Could you do just this one?
It all builds. but-
Yeah, we could do just this one. If you want to come just tomorrow for this one, I'll call you when it's ready.
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, are you working Saturday, Eric?
I will only be working a half day on Saturday,
Okay.
so from 8 a.m. to noon.
Are you gonna be able to deliver that order about the U-Haul?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Expeditiously. All right. Does someone want to make I guess we need to make a motion.
Yep.
We're all ready to do a motion on this one? Who would like to make a motion?
Go ahead.
Which one we doing?
One.
The one. My first one. Based on testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-214, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of section 125-767B of the town code ordinances. Respondents shall comply with the town code of ordinance on or before, do we have a date?
Monday?
Monday, the 22nd of June, 2026. If respondents fail to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount of not to exceed $250 a day.
Put whatever you want in there.
Okay, I'll do 250. Per day shall be imposed. A fine assessment hearing will be held on, that would be
July 29th.
July 29th, 2026.
Second.
Hey. Any discussion? Ready to vote?
Yep.
All in favor?
Uh,
Any nays? Passes. The motion passes.
You're welcome. See you guys. See you next month.
Thank you all for coming in. See you next month. Okay, so now we go back to the order, or
Correct.
we have one person that's out if you want to.
I believe,
Mayor.
she's just, in,
Perfect.
Yep.
You're just here to observe. Okay, my dear. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that. All right, so now we
Little
go back
excitement.
to the same order now.
Yep.
yes.
Page 3.
So,
Page 3.
yes, correct. Case 2026-56.
All right, next is case 2026-56, Alexander Averhoff and Sule Ben-Cosme
That is correct.
at 1825 Mediterranean Road West.
That is correct.
Eric, you want to fill us in?
Absolutely. Good evening. I'm Code Enforcement Officer Eric Richwagon, representing the town of Lake Clark Shores, case number 2026-56. Site property owners are identified as Alexander Averhoff and Sully Benskame. Site property is identified as 1825 Mediterranean Road West, Lake Clark Shores, Florida, 33406. Notice of violation was issued on February 24, 2026, under Code Section 34-19, Sub 9, Sub C. The roof of this property has discoloration and needs cleaning. A reinspection of today's date shows that the violation still exists. I did speak to the property owners. Every year since I've been here, they were cited for the same thing. They've always come into compliance. They brought to my attention that this roof was built in 1969, and it has finally come to its, final days. So the reason that they haven't cleaned it is because they're getting estimates today and tomorrow, and they're going to pull the permit to get the roof completely replaced. So they asked for me to present to the board because they're unable to be here. If they could get an extension of at least 30 days to get everything set in motion.
Set a motion meeting, just.
Set a motion to
The
see how much,
permit.
see how much it's going to cost, then get to the building department, pull the permits, so on and so forth.
But not the work done. I'm assuming it's just getting it set in motion. Will they be here next month to give us?
They're going to call me tomorrow because I told them, give me a call tomorrow. I will let you know what the code board's decision is and, you know, give me an update on the estimates. What I can tell you, since I've been here, they've only ever been cited for the roof, and every year they've always come into compliance before it ever had to go before the board. That's why I found this one to be a little unusual. Thankfully, they reached out to me and explained it to me.
Okay.
But you cited them in February, and it's now the end of June.
Correct.
4 months. For 'em to, hello, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, they were out of state. I'm not sure where they were residing, but that's why, because the violation mailing address is for that property. Once they got back and saw it, they called me.
How long did it take to get a permit for a roof, Emily?
I don't know.
A week?
Week, probably.
I don't know.
A month? I don't think it takes that long. I would say it would take a week, provided all the paperwork's.
They submit a complete application
Right.
package and maybe 2 weeks.
I would give time, yeah. They're probably, I'm assuming do they
But
have a
they-
roofer in place or they're like looking for bids now? So they're gonna,
I said they're getting an estimate from what they said today and tomorrow.
okay. I would think maybe 2 weeks. Is it reasonable? I don't know. You guys need to decide. I get to be chair today.
I also spoke to the owner before she talked to Eric,
Yep.
and she was telling me that it would probably be done in August, the re-roof. That's what she had told me.
August?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they haven't even talked to the contractor yet, gotten an estimate and found out what their timeline is, so
I know that.
August may be hopeful.
Well,
So that's 6 months. They've been in violation for 6 months if it takes till August, done, correct?
Again, from what they told me, they only recently received the violation because when they came back. So do I know how many months they were gone for? No, I don't. But the moment they found the violation and the notice of hearing, they called town hall first, spoke to Emily, then they immediately contacted me. Like I said, I've dealt with them every year that I've been here for the same violation, and they've always come into compliance. So they've had a good track record.
Make a motion.
Find a violation, give them until next month for a report.
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay. All right, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2026-56, I move that this board finds the respondents in violation of sections 3419(9)(c) of the Town Code of Ordinances. Respondent shall comply with the Town Code of Ordinances on or before July 29th, 2026. If respondents fail to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount not to exceed $100 a day may be imposed. A fine assessment hearing will be held on July 29th, 2026.
Did you want them to appear next month? With the
Yeah,
status report?
Yeah, that,
I would request that they be here to provide us with,
if it isn't done, come
be
tell
here.
us where they are.
exactly.
Have them come to a status hearing on the 29th. If it's not completed.
That's your motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Motion passes. Okay. Next case, 2026-147, Helen V. Medesho. I'm sorry to tear that up, but the property address is 7438 Pine Tree Lane. Eric, what do you got?
Yes. Good evening. I am Code Enforcement Officer Eric Richwagon, representing the town of Lake Clark Shores, case number 2026-147. Site property owners identified as Helen V. Medeshko Estate. Site property is identified as 7438 Pine Tree Lane, Lake Clark Shores, Florida, 33406. Notice of violation was issued on March 31st, 2026, under Code Section 34-19 Sub 9 Sub B. The driveway is dirty and needs to be pressure cleaned. Reinspection of today's date shows that the violation still exists. Emily, can you pull up the photos? That might be it. That might be just. All right, well, we do have photos, but unfortunately I don't have it on the hard drive. So this property, I was talking to some of the surrounding residents because they actually stopped me when I was taking photos today. They say they haven't seen anyone residing there for the last 6 or 7 months. When I posted the violation to the door initially, nothing struck me as odd, but when I posted the notice of hearing, there were multiple other things posted to the door, such as like FPNL, AT&T. So it's my impression that no one is currently living there. It's possible that someone may have passed away. So I'm going to check the clerk of courts to see if I can see anything like that. But yeah, as of today's date, the violation still exists and the driveway is it's dirty. It's very dirty.
Okay.
And I've had no communication from anyone.
Make a motion. Based on the testimony evidence presented in case number 2026-147, move this board finds the respondents in violation of section 34-19 9B as in Boston of the town code of ordinances. Respondents shall comply with the town ordinance on before July 29th, 2026. If respondents fail to comply with this order in a timely fashion, a fine in the amount not to exceed $100 per day will be imposed. Fine assessment hearing will be held on July 29th, 2026, if necessary.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Motion passes.
And that's that is the
Okay.
rest of the cases in violation.
We have, I think,
26-2.
Yeah.
11.
Case number 2026-211, Renier Serrano and Medales
No.
Valdez.
That one's in compliance.
That is?
Yes. That was for the fence that was installed. It's been confirmed by, yeah, this one's been confirmed by the building department. So
Okay.
this one was a little bit in limbo because it was waiting for final inspection. They pulled the permit, everything has been completed. So they're now in compliance.
Okay. That wasn't disclosed to us in the beginning, right? So. okay.
No, I
Just wanna make
missed that
sure I
one,
was
so-
listening. Okay.
Yeah, no, I apologize for that. That's one that I missed.
Okay, so then we already did this case, 214. I think we're just now, am I correct? Board comments?
Correct.
And well, I got one thing I'd like to bring up because we had one now with that roof, and I go walking a lot. And one thing, Eric, and I guess now the summer, it's pretty humid.
Yes.
We're back in that season again and everything else. But it seems like there's a lot of roofs that could be used. I don't know how, when you go through our entire town, do you go in sections and swaths where you like, because I feel like we pick one roof, but there's maybe a roof down the street, or it just doesn't seem like, why isn't, hey, I'm getting picked, but the house maybe
So
half a mile down the same road doesn't. I'm not here to, but I think maybe we ought to try to do them all in one swoop where like, hey, everybody's got a roof, then the neighbors are not saying, well, how come, that person's house is not clean and,
the way I do it is I ride to the town. If I find a violation at one house, I then ride down the rest of the street, if not multiple streets, and I cite everyone for everything. Now, when it comes to roofs, I don't cite them if they have just a little bit on there. I wait until it's actually agreeably dirty. Just like driveways and just like discoloration on the wall, I wait until it's not overly obvious, but where you can look at it and go, okay, that needs to be cleaned. So that's
Okay.
why sometimes when things are presented before the board, if you actually look at it on the town map, you can almost map and see where I've been.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are now in the time of the year where we're going to really start seeing overgrown vegetation, dirty roofs, dirty driveways, discoloration, overgrown hedges, so on and so forth, because now we are back in the thick of it. Been here for a couple years now, and I've seen the pattern.
And then I guess we were doing our lawn and order. How's that going? I know, but it seems like people are still putting their trash during the week, even depending whenever their landscapers come out, or if they do it themselves, but they're putting the big old piles
Well,
on on a Monday.
as of today's date, 39 citations were issued for the section. However, there was the second reading done for the ordinance, and Emily, it's now in effect, correct?
Yes.
So the council, heard the public because there was two sides. Some people wanted way more enforcement. Some people were saying, hey, my only day off is such and such. So the council came up with something that I agree with, is that you can now put your vegetation only, not bulk, vegetation out 72 hours prior. So that now gives residents Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if you have a Monday pickup. If you have Tuesday, you now have Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And that is in effect as of now.
Okay.
So that means enforcement will still be conducted primarily on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Now, if someone puts bulk trash out on a non-pickup day, that 72 hours does not fall within them. It's strictly vegetation.
Okay. Is that something we're putting in the newsletter? I'm just curious, since obviously our town is used to, we have people that come and pick up trash. I mean, I've done that. I had a small refrigerator or it gets taken. I had it's just scrap metal, my awnings. I just put it out, it's gone. I mean, to me, I know somebody's recycling it or whatever, but, is that something that we should put in the newsletter just to say, hey, guys, vegetation only for this time? And then is bulk pickup, they would be then 24 hours prior to
the
pickup,
thing.
or is it like Sunday night? Like mine's Monday morning is pickup. So the earliest I could put it out would be what, 7 PM Sunday?
You could put it out Sunday, that's fine, unless we're obviously under a hurricane watch.
Just a suggestion, because I think everyone thinks this pile, as you know, that includes bulk trash. They don't think it's vegetation only.
I agree.
And so is that something, I don't know if we have anybody, the newsletter or email?
Buzz?
Yeah, my
And
suggestion.
if we see any upticks in bulk, it'll obviously be cited. Since we enacted law and order, one of the big positives we saw, minus the reduction in the landscapers coming through town and leaving it, is we've also seen that when there's now not a trash pickup, the residents are calling and saying, hey, Waste Management didn't come through. So they're calling town hall. Employees are calling Waste Management, and the trucks are going out. So us being the town being contracted with them, they're now being upheld to, hey, you had a Monday, pickup, you didn't do it, please send out trucks. Because the residents know if it's out there, they're going to be cited. And that's why they're calling saying, hey, it's not our fault.
Yeah.
So that's one of the benefits. And also the benefit too is some of the landscaping companies, they didn't want to remove it. Not all of them, but a lot of them are gone. So there's definitely positives for the enforcement we did since January. believe we had a total of, I think, 7 to 9 actual citation fines. Last week alone, I issued, I believe, 3 or 4 actual fines.
Okay. Anyone else have anything to bring up?
I just wanted to thank Jonathan for extending an offer to assist this woman who was here this evening.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
She was here with the driveway before. and
Yes, yes.
I think that
the
was,
Situation is, but she probably inherited the house or something. Mom died, she ain't got no money. You know, so I mean, it's not a big deal. I got guys I can run over there and put some plastic up over the open ones, and I'll get it done tomorrow sometime.
well, I appreciate it. I feel like there is a need even in our community for residents and other neighbors to sometimes step up and do the neighborly thing and help someone that has a situation. And I'm glad to see that happen. I wish we had some sort of a resource in the town. I know we have a seniors group, and maybe even for their benefit, if we could come up with a list of, I'm not saying preferred contractors, but people who are willing to offer their services
Yeah.
for someone that's in need.
Well, I mean, I run a business and
Right.
we're okay. I mean, I can afford to live in Lake Park Shores. You know, and when I first got here, I was over on Cherokee Road back over there in a hunting cabin, I guess. But we give back. Well, I want all those charities. I'm doing this for, because I want to give back to where we've been successful. And so those are little
Exactly.
things that we can do. It doesn't cost me a lot of money, to help out. And it gets it where, the goal is for us, we just want everybody to be in compliance.
Exactly.
And there's a board here because each situation can be different and there's rules to follow. But if we take the humanity out of it and we quit looking at people as worthy of some consideration or not worthy. I mean, your U-Haul there, I'm curious to see when y'all get it towed out of there and all of a sudden he shows up with a pickup truck. Then we discover that there's some, permit stuff going on inside or either meth. Who knows? So anyway, thank you for saying that,
No, that was a very nice, generous offer. And that's one of the nice things about this community. And I know with past town members and Clyde Current and everybody else that was done where everybody found out and help out the neighbors. And that's something that hopefully we can start here and encourage it to be done more. And Mayor, if we can share that with the town council, that's maybe a good idea where maybe we kind of announce, hey, this neighbor is in need, if they're fine with announcing it, or maybe with the senior group or something like that, because obviously she's depending on her social security check
Yeah.
the second Wednesday of every month. And I understand, I know my mom, we got parents and they were used to making money before, but now, and everyone's living a lot longer, they don't have the money to.
I'm not
Right.
saying we necessarily call out someone in need, but if we have a list of resources where if we know somebody's able to assist, I have a pressure washer, I clean my own driveway, but if there were a neighbor in need, I'd be willing to push my pressure washer down to their driveway and help them too. And, I believe in paying it forward, helping your neighbors, volunteering,
But I think it's a good, with our senior group,
right.
I think that's a great place for us to start and maybe even get more involvement with this. Maybe more seniors would get involved knowing, hey, wow. And maybe they could be helping out each other at the same time.
Yeah.
Let those that can help or can give resources to solve the issue. Regarding hers, that was a pool, we take it seriously.
We do.
And a child, and she is obviously in a rock and a hard place. It's not that she doesn't want to,
Mhm.
she's just trying to survive. So I just appreciate all of you for taking that consideration and it makes me happy to being able to help someone like that and at the same time achieve our goal of compliance. So.
A few years ago,
To see how the community comes together for all the victims of the fires.
Yeah, that was a beautiful thing.
a few years ago, there was a lady here on West Lake. I think it was a lady, I'll say a house because I'm not sure. And Waste Management wouldn't pick, she had a roof removed. And whoever took it off didn't put it close enough to the street. So the Lake Clack Shores Yacht Club put out a notice, listen, let's go help this person out. Saturday, 10 o'clock, let's go to the house and move the roof closer to the street. There had to be 20 or 25 of us that went to the house and moved it out to help her out, you know, and, I mean, the yacht club hasn't been active lately, but I'm sure that's another outlet
Mhm.
to go, because there's a lot of people that will help. All they need to do is know what's going on.
And it,
Facebook page, the residents' Facebook page.
right.
Right.
There's a lot of kids that are gonna wanna earn their volunteerism
Community
credits that,
service.
right, might need to go and cut somebody's grass once in a while.
No.
Anyway. just
Because of your
thought.
gesture, Jonathan, we've extended this meeting because in your honor, sir. I'm sorry, I know you want to get to dinner, but that was a very generous offer and I thank you as a neighbor for doing that. So, is there anything else? Any other comments?
Motion to